Just imagine for a moment that everything that's happening in your world is a creation of you. Just imagine for a moment that if you were to change your perception about anything, then that was your truth. Just imagine for a second that things aren't happening to you, they're happening for you. Just imagine you've got more control over your situation than you realise. Is this a glow up or a blow up? Is this a blow up or a glow up? The difference between a blow up and a glow up is sometimes we think our world might be shattering around us. We might be falling apart. Relationships are not what they used to be. Nothing feels familiar anymore. We could look at that one way or another. We could look at that as if everything's turning to shit and life's too hard and everything's scary and I'm living in my base chakra. Or we can flip it and we can say, wow, let's just see what happens from here. Let's just let it fall away. Let's just go with the flow. Let's surrender. In that space, it very well might have all the shit around you fall away. The shit, I say. And when I say shit, I don't mean shit as in bad people or anything like that. Bad situations, anything like that. They might be good people, they might be good situations, but they're falling away. So in this space, if you're drawn to this reading, it's because I know that it's your perception that we're looking at here. A glow up is where you have to stand in your truth, stand in your power and become your authentic self. What does that look like? What do you have to do to get there? Bugger if I know. Let's see what Spirit has to say. Choose 1, 2 or 3. And let's get a bit more information and maybe some, I don't know, some guidance and support about what to do next potentially. Let's just check it out and see what happens. But don't forget to stay to the end because you know I give away a free one-on-one reading every month. And I'll let you know how to do that at the end. Let's get to it. All right, number 1, in your energy straight away, I feel tension across my head. So I don't know if you've been getting headaches or you've just been thinking over and over and over. I feel as though the aspect of you losing control is quite evident here. And again, it's just a perception. It's not actually fact. But if you believe it is, then it is. But here's what Spirit's got for you. I feel like you need to listen to this hard. I feel like you're at a crossroad, you're at a point in your life where things are going to change drastically because it's become so uncomfortable that you can't stay where you are. And it doesn't mean physically in your house, in your relationship, all the rest of it. It's in yourself. You've grown out of who you actually are. Remember, this is a general reading. Take what resonates. But you're being forced and it's uncomfortable because things have to change around you. But in order for them to change, you need to change yourself. And it may very well be that you're being forced into conversations you don't wish to have, but you know they're necessary. It's interesting. I watched a very controversial movie the other night and it shook me to my core, to the point where what they were sharing was utter truth. But it was truth that I had been ignoring. Truth that I was pretending didn't exist. I knew it did, but every time someone would talk about it, I'd turn away. And I feel as though this is what's happening to you. Something that you've been ignoring has been coming at you. And it's time that you really take a look at it. And it's not just entertaining the idea, it's actually taking action. It's letting the truth in and sitting in it and knowing what you can do next, okay? Because this, my darling, for you, is a moment of truth. Your glow up is a moment of truth. You can have it either way. You can call it a blow up, you can call it a glow up, because it's your perception. And to be honest, it's the same with all these readings. It's going to be, no doubt, a perception. But what Spirit's saying is, let's get a little bit more positive. And it's not just being positive and going, oh, it'll be okay. It's more so taking the positive action toward the outcome that you truly desire. But, well, I need cards here because this one's actually quite confusing. The situation that is at hand is somewhere that you've never been faced with. You've ignored it. You've walked away from it. This is the point in your relationship you usually, cause an argument and get someone to leave you. General reading. But this is a place where you would usually push someone away. This is where you would usually, like, there's a pattern, right? There's a pattern what you would usually do right here. And that pattern isn't something you're willing to do. So in order for you to change the pattern, it's actually quite uncomfortable. It can bring up some anxiety. So when I speak of the movie I watched the other day, I knew that I had to do some action. I could have been on the way to a panic attack, or the closest I've been to a panic attack in many years. It wasn't an attack, but that was how my old story would have taken me there because I was so out of control. But I pulled back and realised that, take some breaths, jump back onto my meditations and start visualising on what I actually want rather than what I don't want. So I have some tools that I had to access to pull myself out of it. Now, the tools for you need to get your toolbox out right here, right now. You need to access those things. What are they? Do you have a counsellor? Do you have a journal? Do you have meditation? Do you need some time to yourself? Do you need to do whatever you need to do to break the pattern of what you usually do? Now, I have been in multiple relationships over the year, and I get to the point where and long-term relationships, mind you, the last couple of years of relationships, I tend to blow them up in the past. And it was purely because we were on different paths and I'd never want to tell somebody I didn't want to be with them, God forbid. And so I would behave in a certain way that would create an outcome of destruction. And that was the only way of me knowing what to do. I don't do that anymore because I know that I have to grow and I have to change. And that's where you are. You're at a pivotal time now that it's uncharted territory, and you're literally going, okay, now I'm going to behave the way I truly want rather than the way I used to, just to cope. Gosh, deep, isn't it? Have I even pulled cards for you? Let's pull some cards. All right, we've got the trust card. I'm going to pull 3, yeah. Okay, relationships and grief. Okay, so I feel like this is about people more so around you. It's more so like, I don't talk about my stories for me. It's your reading, right? So you can resonate and relate to parts of my story. And it doesn't mean that's happened to you, but you can relate to parts of it. And it is relationships around you, because the thing is, it's trusting that the universe has got you through this transition, through the fact that you can try different things. And we all know the definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. And that's not an option for you now. You know it's time for you to really step up, face the truth that you've been ignoring, hiding from, being distracted from, whatever it is. And it's just trusting the guidance and spirit, and trusting the fact that, like, you might be sitting here by now going, oh, no, this is not my reading. I'm going to pick number 2 or 3. No, this is your reading. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here. And I'm quite confident in saying that to you today. Relationships, and I dropped the card. It's like you're dropping, someone's dropping the ball on the relationship, and it might not be you, it might be the other party. But there's something about, I want to step away to regroup, to come back. I want to step away to regroup, to come back. And that could be physical, that could be emotional, whatever it might be. But it's like you need to do that thing that's going to stop you in your tracks so that you can regroup to come back to do something different. So if this is it with a partner, a long-term partner, a brand new partner, a job, another person, it's another person. It's time to start behaving like you want them to behave right here, right now. And it says, I am attracted to those people who serve my higher good, that serve my higher good. So you'll find, what I can't get away from is this beautiful, sorry, I just got a message, I was reading it. This beautiful pattern here, which is sacred geometry, right? It's like everyone is connected. Every action has a reaction. Every thought has a emotion. Like, there's so many things here that are connected. And don't discount one little action that you make, because when it's in the right direction, the momentum builds very, very quickly with this. And this is the way what you expect out of your relationships. And the thing is that you get the grief card as well. And grief is quite a, that. Grief is that. It's so many emotions mixed in one. And then you've got a little bit of a layer of anger. Then you've got a layer of sadness. And then you've got a layer of denial. Then you've got a layer of guilt. Then you've got a layer of, I don't know, well, you just go off the handle. It might be that you act without any consequence, like caring about the consequences, knowing you shouldn't be doing things, but doing them anyway, because it's this release. And because you've lost control over here, you want to lose control over here, and it can get messy. So know that that part of you is trying to pull you back, at the moment, but you've worked through that already. You've absolutely worked through that already, because you are literally stepping up into your power. And as you rise, you're literally just looking up. You're not even looking where you've been. Parts of you are dropping off, and it's uncomfortable. You haven't been here before. So don't act like you have. Just trust. Absolutely trust, because the grief's played a big part. A big part. To give you the knowledge and the wisdom, okay? And I'm just going to finish with one message to tie this up. And it is, I am a spirit having a human experience, and I'm here to get closer to love. And that is your final message to tie up reading for number 1. Blow up or glow up. Number 2, in your energy, I feel quite still. In your energy, I feel like I'm not taking part in things like I used to. I'm just sort of sitting back and contemplating and observing more. I'm not really getting involved the way I used to. I'm not entertaining the drama. I'm not playing the games of other people, and I'm really stepping up to a different level of energy. And in that comes a quiet solitude. It's almost like you're doing this deliberately, 100% deliberately, because I feel like I'm almost in my high priestess energy, where I'm almost not looking down on people as in a bad way, but looking down on people because you're almost connecting with your higher self, and you're looking down upon the land, you're looking down upon the collective, you're looking down upon situations and taking yourself out as the third person. So you're really assessing it from a bird's eye view. Okay. I know that you would be working with spirit. You're definitely enhancing that connection with spirit to a deeper level. And I know that you're at a point where you're trusting yourself. This is a very solitude part of your journey where people are around you, but it's more like you're doing it alone, and by choice too. So it's not that you aren't in a relationship. It's not that you don't have people around you. It's not that you don't have people to lean on. It's not that. It's more so that you're nutting things out without sharing them. So whether or not you're creating, you're in the creation mode with business, whether you're searching for a new house and not told anyone, whether you're looking for new employment and haven't exposed it to your boss or something like that. But what you're doing is your research alone from a higher perspective, not from a place of fear, from a place of creation, opportunity, and love. This is an absolute beautiful space for you to be in. Part of you doesn't even want to tell people, because once you tell someone, they might come and put their spin on it. They might come and give you their experience or their opinion, and you're not even asking for it anyway. It's just something that you want to share. Now, Spirit's well aware of this, and they're saying just keep it to yourself for now. Just keep it to yourself for now, because you have had your parade rained on. You have had many times where people you might even have a business plan or a business idea that has been stolen away from you before. You might have a partner that was stolen away from you before. So you're quite protective with what's yours. And the thing is, nothing was ever stolen away from you. It's more so that your higher self, your guides, the universe knew that there was always something better coming, and it just didn't happen in the nicest of ways. So yeah, blow up over and over, right, for you. But that's just a perception. But you're now going, just leave it with me. I'm going to go at my pace. I'm going to do it my way. I'm going to tweak it when I need to tweak it. I'm going to hold when I need to hold, and I'm going to charge forward when I'm ready. And Spirit's going, yes, that's exactly right. You've trusted yourself. You've gone on the journey of knowing that when you give too much information, people don't respect it, or they try to duplicate it, or say it's their idea. Yeah, right. Let's get some cards for you, baby. We've got the Success. Then we have Courage. And then finally we have Humor. This is a lovely reading. This is a lovely reading. You're not being sneaky. You're being strategic. And strategic in a loving way, a nurturing way, because you really want to bring your personality. You don't want to be swayed by anybody else, okay? And you know when, like, you say to someone an idea or you say a story and they go, oh, yeah, that's like when it happened to me. When it happened to me, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, that's not what I was saying. And it's like, okay. And it can dampen your creativity. So you want to stay in your flow. You want to work very closely with Spirit in your solitude. It's not solitude when you're in Spirit, we know that. But in your own personal energy with your team, ask Spirit to come close, because you'll really get it, because you've got the Success card. It's going to happen. It's not how, it's when. Okay, it's not how, it's when. So it says, Success, I know that there is no greater goal than love. So as long as whenever you make a move in the direction of whatever it is you're conspiring, it's not conspiring in a bad way, but creating, developing, nurturing. It's like it's in the fertility stage and it's growing. It's ready to be birthed. Not yet. Not yet. This is something to be done in, it's got to be at least 6 months or 12 months. It's not even something that's ready. It's not ready. If you're on this and it's making sense and you're like, I'm ready to bring it, just not yet. Spirit's saying, no, there's more. There's more before you bring other people in, okay? You're on to it. The next card is Courage. Now, it might be courage for you just to think, oh, am I lying to people? Am I not, am I hiding information? Am I doing it? No. It's the courage to trust that you're on this personal journey. It's between you and Spirit, because whenever you bring this out, whatever it is, if it's a secret, if it's a service, if it's a product, if it's a move, or whatever it might be, it's going to be divine timing, and you're just going to know. There's going to be no doubt inside you once it comes out. Now, don't be surprised if for some reason it leaks, the information leaks, but it won't be the grand presentation. It won't be the launch of this idea or whatever it is. That will be fine. It won't be, you know, just don't be surprised if there's a leak along the way. Spirit's saying we've got you on that. Don't worry, just keep flowing through. And then finally you get the humour card. We've got to laugh, right? We've got to laugh. And it says, I choose to focus on the lighter side of life. Once you take out the joy of this journey, once you make it a, you know, a real business, or it's got to be structured, or this is the deadline, or the, you know, when I was pregnant, I had a baby, or I had 2 babies. My plan, my birth plan was to have a fucking baby. You know, like so many people say, oh, you know, I'm not having a C-section, or I'm having a C-section, or it's got to be this day, whatever. And then all of a sudden nature takes over and it goes completely nothing like you plan, and then you feel like a failure. So the planning side needs to almost, the structure, the control needs to come out. It just needs to be, this is what the end goal is. I know it's going to happen in an organic way, but the humour has to stay there, the flow, the fun, the laughter, and the joy. Once it gets stressful, pull back. You need a rest. You do not force it. You need a rest. You need to regroup, and you need to come back to the idea when you're in that vibration of creation and love. This is a massive glow up. It's a glow up because you're trusting yourself for a change. Look at you go. And just to finish, I choose love no matter what. Oh, you can't tie this reading up any better. And that, my darling, is reading for number 2. Don't forget to stay to the end so I can share with you how to win a one-on-one reading with moi. It's so funny. You know, when I tune into number 3, I get the song, The Hills Are Alive, with the sound of music. So it's really interesting with this energy. It's very different to the first and the second one. It's very delicate. It makes me want to dance. It makes me want to go to the ballet. It makes me want to roll on the hills. So a general reading, of course. So please take what resonates. And it may very well mean that you just want to play. You want to just get on a hill and roll down. I remember when I was a child, I did that. But I also remember when I rolled really fast and one blade of grass whacked my eardrum as I rolled. And geez, did that hurt. So don't feel that if you play, there's danger associated, right? Because that's the type of thing. I get the fun and then I get the ouch. So it's like if you have too much fun, something will go wrong. If you have too much fun, something will go wrong. So for some of you, I feel as though the seriousness needs to ease. So you may very well be in a relationship that you're having issues where your partner might not be taking you seriously. They might be just making a joke out of everything that's really, really hot topic. You need to talk about it. You need to get it off your chest. You need to look at that, you know. But they're making a joke out of it and you are just getting really, really frustrated. Time that you just start making jokes out of things, really, because when you get too serious, people around you become almost complacent. It's like you're serious enough. I don't have to join you type of feeling. And it's quite exhausting for you. So I'm feeling as though you feel people aren't taking you serious enough. But Spirit's here to say, because you're too serious. And that's not in a disrespectful way. It's more so that sometimes you just got to throw your hands up and go, what's the worst that could happen? The worst that could happen is that you may look silly. And Spirit's saying, silly's good. Because it's time you start easing up and laughing at yourself. Because the pressure that you're putting on yourself in this energy is debilitating. And the pressure that I'm feeling in this energy, it's like if I do it and I get it wrong, what are they going to think of me? What are they going to say? Who cares? Because they're not doing it, are they? They're not giving the crap because they're probably too scared about what everyone else will think or say. And here you are, you're doing it, but very seriously. There needs to be a break. There needs to be some fun. There needs to be balance. Is there something you're looking forward to? Is there a holiday coming up? Is there a pedicure coming? Is there something that you need to be looking forward to? Because you're on. You're on and you don't want to blow up. You want to calm down. You want to ease. You want to give yourself some love. Because this reading here, you're on the brink. And it's not a blow up or a glow up. It's a brink. And you choose what's going to tip you what way. To the blow up or the glow up. And in saying that, in my opinion, every blow up's a glow up anyway, because, you know, everything moves around and then you know what works and what doesn't. Just like when I say, is it a breakthrough or a breakdown? Is it a breakdown or a breakthrough? Because when people say, oh, I've had a breakdown, I go, have you? Good. Because now you've had enough of a situation. Now you know things have to change. Now you have to look at the truth. So you are at this beautiful clearing. And it's like the Wizard of Oz, you know, where the scarecrow goes this way, people do go both ways. Now it's up to you what you choose, what direction you want to go in. But I definitely know in this energy, the fun has to come. The seriousness is way too much. Way too much. You're too serious for yourself. You know it. It's just like a pattern, and it's a protective mechanism and a habit. It's just a habit. And to break a habit, you've got to just do the opposite of it every day for 30 days. You get to 10 days, and if you get too serious again, you go, damn it, start again. It's got to be 30 consecutive days. All right, let's get some cards for you, beautiful soul. Oopsie, we've got this one. Empathy. Failure. Indecision. All right. Okay. Empathy. I'm open to seeing both sides of the situation. Now, I almost want to say both sides of you. The serious side and the fun-loving side. And I'm not saying you're not loving when you're serious. It's just not fun. And it's like if you have too much fun, you will hurt yourself. If you have too much fun, things will turn to shit. You know, like when I grew up, I grew up in a town that didn't have a lot for children, for the youth. So we would end up drinking a lot, doing things that kids should not do. And then most nights there would be a punch on. And it would be horrific for someone, you know, young and vulnerable like me, watching these boys. They were my mates. I would love everyone, like deeply love my friends growing up. And they would be hurting each other and I would be mortified week in and week out. Purely because there was nothing for us to do. And it got to the point where I became so anxious about if I had a party and everyone was having fun, that it was going to turn bad. And I feel like there's a bit of that energy in this. It's like if I drop the ball, if I am off guard, someone's going to swoop on in and someone will get hurt. That's how it feels here. But give yourself some compassion. Know what you've been through. Know why you are the way you are. And then let yourself forgive yourself. Give yourself some empathy. Feel into the part of you that just needs that love. Because the next one is the failure card. And it says, I understand that a mistake is only an opportunity to learn. It feels as though you're taking responsibility for something that's happened in the past, that you're not letting yourself off the hook. And it's like you're taking punishment from yourself, not anyone else, it's you, very often. So you're putting yourself in this responsibility. It's like, you know, in your family potentially growing up, but you were the one that might have got thrown into being the adult before you were even near an adult. You know, maybe the oldest child or the more responsible child, and you were even looking after kids that were older than you. Like that type of feel is in this. And take what resonates, general reading. But it's time that you learn how to forgive yourself because you did the best you could with the skill set you had, right? And then we have the indecision. And the indecision says, I use my intuition in all aspects of my life. When we are in control, we are not using intuition. And when I say when we're in control, as in when we need to control everything, have a deadline for everything, have everything in its place, it can become so scary to think that something might move out of its place. And what needs to be done here for you, my darling, is for you to get out of the control and into the surrender, into the flow and into the trust, because Spirit's got this for you. Because right here, right now, you're at a point where you've got the clean pasture and it's up to you what you're going to do. Are you going to choose that it's all too hard? Or are you going to choose that, oh my gosh, I am allowed to do it differently. I am allowed to give myself some love and compassion, and I am allowed to just take a breath and rest. Interesting, huh? And just to tie this up with one more message for you, my darling. It says, in every moment, the universe is conspiring to bring me toward right-minded thinking and the energy of love. And it's just a thought, right? Right-minded thinking. I like that. You deserve it just as much as everybody else. Everybody else. You deserve it. And that, my darling, is your reading for card number 3. Everybody's a glow up. Everything. It's all perception, right? It's all perception. So don't forget to look in the description below for all my upcoming events for term 2. I've got some online working with spirit courses and in-person events. I'm also traveling potentially internationally and interstate before the end of 2024 to bring you Spirit's messages in person. But watch this for those times and venues. Now, for now, let's work out how to enter my one-on-one competition for a reading for the month of March. And what I would like you to do is pop in the comments a time where you knew the blow-up was actually a glow-up. And share with us that experience. So when you knew a blow-up was actually a glow-up, and you may not have known it at the time, but you do know 100% now. So I've had a lot go on in my life. I've lost people, relationships, all the rest of it, but I know it all happened for me, not to me, because now I've got a lot of wisdom and a toolbox to access when I work with my clients. So it's all awesome experiences, and that to me is a glow up. So that's what I'd love you to pop in the comments below. Thank you so much. Take care, beautifuls. I'll see you next time. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and all those YouTube algorithm things. Be kind to yourself. Please be kind to yourself, because you're the only beautiful you. Mwah. Love you all. Peace out.